Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam study. Let's start with Shri Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharidhari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharidhari, Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharidhari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharidhari, Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Kori Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayam Udiryet.
Tato Jayamudirye.
Shautam Swa Katha Krishna.
Shravtam Sa Katha Kṛṣṇa.
Punya Shavana Kirtanaha.
Punya Shravana Kirtana.
Hridayantasto he Bhadrani.
Hridayantasto Bhadrani.
Vidhunote Suhasatam.
Vidunoti Suhatsatam.
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya.
Bhagavate Uttam Shloke.
Bhagavate Uttam Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki.
Hare Krishna. So today we will be studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10th canto, chapter 43. Lord Krishna kills the elephant, Kuvalayāpīḍa. So please join us in recitation of the first verse. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10th canto, chapter 43, verse 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Shri Shukuvacha.
Atha Krishnascha Ramascha.
Atha Krishnascha Ramascha.
Krita Shacha Parantapa.
Krita Chacha Parantapa.
Maladundubhi Nirghosham.
Malladundubi Nirgosham.
Shutva Drashtum Upeyatuhu.
Shutva Drashtumupeyatu.
Please.
Shri Shukuvacha.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Atha Krishnascha Ramascha.
Atha Krishnascha Ramascha.
Krita Shacha Parantapa.
Krita Shacha Parantapa.
Malladundubi Nirghosham.
Malladundubhi Nirghosham.
Shrutva Drashtumupeyatu.
Shutva Drishtum Upeyatuhu. Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Shri Shukuvacha.
Shukdev Goswami said.
Shri Shukdev Goswami said.
Atha.
Atha.
Next. Krishna.
Krishna. Krishna.
Cha.
And.
Rama.
Balaram.
Cha. Also.
Krita.
Having carried out. Shaucha. Purification. Parantapa. O chastiser of enemies. Malla. Of the wrestling match. Dundubhi. Of the kettle drums. Nirghosham. The resounding vibration. Shutva. Hearing. Drashtum. To see. Upayatuhu. They approached. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shukdev Goswami said, O chastiser of enemies, Krishna and Balaram, having executed all necessary purification, then heard the kettle drums resounding at the wrestling arena, and they went there to see what was happening. Purport. Srila Sridhar Swami explains the word Krita Shauchau. Having executed all necessary purification as follows. 2 days previously, Krishna and Balaram had executed their purification, their relief from offense, by performing heroic deeds. The Lord reasoned, even after we have made our power known by breaking the bow and by performing other feats, our parents have still not secured freedom. Kamsa is again trying to kill them. Therefore, although he is our maternal uncle, it will not be wrong for us to kill him. They assured their offenselessness by this reasoning. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pisthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshitarine Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tadaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So in the previous chapter we heard two major incidents. First was that Lord made Kubja fortunate. How did he make Kubja fortunate? And who is Kubja? So Kubja is maidservant of Kamsa, and she prepares very nice fragrant ointments for the king. And Lord, while returning from the florist home, Sudama's place, so this is a different Sudama than his friend Sudama. So this florist had, in his previous life, he had been Hemamali, a gardener of Yakshiraj, the treasure of demigods. What's his name? Kuvera. Yes, he was Kuvera's gardener. And he was managing this Chitraratha garden, where there are a lot of small ponds and lakes with lots of lotuses. So every day he was offering 300 such lotuses to Lord Shiva. He was actually a devotee of Vishnu, but he was offering it to Lord Shiva. Just like gopis, they wanted Lord Krishna, but they were, performing Katyayani Vrat, worshipping Goddess Durga, Goddess Parvati. So similarly, Hemamali was offering 300 lotus flowers, fresh lotus flowers every day. For how many years? For 500 years he did that. And so Lord Shiva became happy. He said, what do you want? And he said that I may see Lord Krishna entering my home and blessing me. So Lord Shiva said, yes, so be it, tathastu. And that in your next life you will be able to see. So Lord Krishna, when he entered Mathura on that very day, the last incident as he's doing before seeing Kubja and breaking the bow, he goes and visits Sudama. And Sudama is feeling very blissful and giving him all kind of benedictions that he will enjoy materially in this life as well as go back home, back to Godhead, Vaikuntha. So he and his family are feeling very much blessed. And as Lord sees Kubja, he, in joking words, is saying, oh, my dear fair lady, a tall lady, who are you carrying these fragrant ointments for? And if you give the best of your ointments to us too. So he's referring to himself, Lord Krishna is referring to himself and his elder brother Balram. Then you will be very fortunate. And Kubja, as soon as she sees Lord Krishna in this smiling mood, joking mood, so it's very interesting that Lord, before even the incident, he's showing his, expressions that he is favorable. And the other person automatically becomes favorable because Lord Krishna is all attractive. So hopelessly, he has taken away her heart. And so she smilingly says, that, introduces herself very nicely, that I'm a maidservant of Kamsa. And previously, Lord had seen the washerman who was also a servant of Kamsa. But he was arrogant and impudent. And we also covered that in the previous birth, he was actually the washerman who caused Lord Ramchandra to leave Sita Mata in the forest. Of course, he had to ask Lakshman to do that. But this washerman, in his previous birth, was the cause. So in this birth in Mathura, he was killed by Lord Krishna. And Lord, Krishna and Balaram, they took the clothes that they liked. And so did all the cowherd boys, and the remaining clothes just stayed there. And the weaver we covered, was again a weaver in Mithila when Lord Ramchandra was getting married to Mother Sita. At that time he had prepared the groom dress, and for Lord Lakshman also he had prepared dress. So as he had prepared the dress, but when he saw Lord Ram and Lord Lakshman, he had this desire to himself dress the lordships. So after killing the washerman, when Lord picked up two clothes and they were wearing, the weaver came forward and he dressed Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram very nicely, and creating ornaments out of nice clothes, cloth material. He decorated them so wonderfully that they became very happy, and so both of them, they blessed him that he will attain Sarupya Mukti. So he will attain the four-armed Vishnu form. So again, just like in Vaikuntha. So personalities in Vishnu Dutas, they have four-arm form, and they also carry Gada, Chakra, Padma and Shank. But what's the difference? They do not have Shivatsa, the white curly here in the middle of their chest, and they do not have Kaustubha Mani. So these are the two symbols that distinguishes Vishnu Dutas from Lord Vishnu. So here, Lord Krishna, he sees Kubja after seeing the florist Sudama, and he's jokingly asking him. And Kubja, her heart is already stolen because of all attractive Krishna, and she very nicely picks up, most of her, the best of her ointments, and she starts anointing Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram very lovingly, very nicely. And it became so wonderful that as, she was anointing Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, that Lord became very pleased. So he was thinking how to, respond back to her, how to give something in return. And so her name, another name people called her was Trivikrama, which means her body was bent in three places. Her name was Kubja. Kubja means hunchback. So that's because her back, her chest had a hunch in the back, just like a bull has it, similar to that. So she had a hunch. And then she was bent on her neck as well as on her waist. So Lord Krishna places both his feet on her toes and puts his finger, under her chin and lifts her up, straightening her. And as soon as Lord Krishna touched her, she turned into the most beautiful woman in Mathura. So this is the blessing Lord Krishna gave. And immediately she said, "Oh Lord Krishna, you should come with me to my home so that I can, properly welcome you and properly serve you." And of course, Lord Krishna is feeling little embarrassed. Why? Why is he feeling embarrassed? Because Lord Balaram, the elder brother, is watching him, right? And this girl, Kubja, is now behaving without paying attention that she is on the main road of Mathura, the king's highway. And people could be laughing, but she did not care. She was constantly, her heart was stolen. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the women in Mathura were the best of the devotees in Mathura at that time, because as soon as they saw Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, just by looking at Lord Krishna, their hearts were hopelessly taken away by Lord Krishna. With his smile, with his constant, restless eyes as he's looking around, and with his curly hair that are falling on his face and making him look so beautiful, Madan Mohan, the one who can enchant the Cupid. So as Cupid, they have all, as seeing a Cupid, they have lost all their shyness. And Kubja is also showing that. And here in this particular chapter, which is the next day, so Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, after breaking the bow and killing more than 5,000 soldiers of Kans, they returned back to their camp. And Kans, as soon as he heard, that the bow has been broken, and actually when the bow broke, at that time, the sound was so tumultuous that the 7 planets shook, earth and above. And people thought that an earthquake has occurred. So they were all shocked. And Kans, it was as if his heart was shattered when he heard the sound. And when he heard that the bow has been broken, it has been broken apart in two pieces by Lord Kṛṣṇa, he sent the soldiers, but he knew that his death is near. So he could not sleep all night, and any time he tried to sleep, he saw bad omens. He saw, being covered with oil and going towards south on a horse and on a donkey. He saw that the trees are having golden hue. He saw holes in his shadow. When he looked at the mirror, he could not see his head even though it was still there. So all bad omens were occurring, all the auspicious animals crossing from left side. So he was seeing bad omens in earth, water and sky. And in this way, he was in great anxiety. Yet next day in the morning, showing as if he is the king and everything will be taken care of today, he went back. Why is he thinking that way? Because he is thinking he has home field advantage this time. Right? Every time he was sending the demons and they were going to Vrindavan, and he was believing that Lord Kṛṣṇa had the home field advantage. So that's why he was killing all the demons. Now Lord Kṛṣṇa is here, and he has already made this plan that I will have Kuvalayāpīḍa, the elephant, which has the power of 10,000 elephants. This elephant will, triumphant. He will crush Lord Kṛṣṇa, who's the 8th son of Devaki. The cause, as per the Akashvani, as per the prophecy made, that will be the cause of Kans's death. And so he has him stationed. What does he have for the next plan? He has Charun and Mushtika along with the other 3 brothers, Kuta, Shala and Toshal, in the wrestling arena. So in the morning, Kansa takes his throne in a very nice arrangement where there is a big umbrella about 20 feet above him, a golden shelter umbrella, and he has a beautiful throne. He's got his shield, mace and sword close by. He sees all his wrestlers are there, his brothers are there. He also calls Devaki and Vasudev to watch. The cowherd men, they are also considered as guests, so they have their own, box or their own stage to sit on. So Nand Maharaj comes, just like many other people who are presenting various gifts to comes. Nand Maharaj comes and offers nice, beautiful gifts. Means again, he is giving big pots filled with milk, yogurt, clarified butter, and so forth, milk-made items. And afterward, he goes back and sits with the other cowherd man on his area in his box on the arena. And at that time, Kansa signals, and of course he's being offered many gifts from many of his friends, like Jarasangha, who is his father-in-law, father of Asti and Prapti. They are married to Kansa, so he has 2 wives. He has been offered gifts by Banasur, Narakasur, and so many other of his friends, Dravid, monkey, and so forth. And when he signals, the kettle drums start beating the people. They start, the ones who were managing the kettle, the drummers start beating the kettle drums. And hearing the kettle drums, Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, after having cleaned themselves very nicely, started to approach this wrestling arena to find out what's going on there. And of course, Lord Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows what is going on there. Yet at the same time, this is very interesting that Lord Kṛṣṇa, he goes with the flow, sometimes what demons have, and then he turns the situation completely around 180 degrees. That's exactly what happens here. Lord Kṛṣṇa is approaching and he is seeing that this, the carer for the elephant, the master of the elephant, he has intentionally, Kuvalayāpīḍa elephant is blocking his way at the door of the arena. So Lord Kṛṣṇa, while with Kubcha, he spoke in a joking manner, smiling manner, attractive way. Here, Lord Kṛṣṇa is speaking in a rumbling voice, saying that, "Oh animal, elephant caretaker, please move your elephant away so I can go through the door." Because he knew the intent of this master of the elephant, that he was intentionally trying to block Krishna's path and with the intention of killing Lord Krishna. But he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Krishna, in a rumbling voice, is saying, and then he is also challenging the caretaker, saying that if you do not move the elephant, then I will send you and this elephant to the house of death, to Yamloka, to the house of Yamraj. And seeing this, the caretaker, he incites the elephant, making him angry, to, crush Lord Krishna. So at that time, as soon as the elephant moves his trunk to capture Lord Krishna quickly escapes that hold of the elephant and goes, between his legs like a expert dancer does that. Now somebody could ask, who is this elephant we are talking about? This elephant Kuvalayāpīḍa, what is his previous life? Is there any story about this elephant that Lord Krishna is so nicely, going to play with? To Lord Krishna, it appears to be a play. For elephant, it appears to be a fight. But who is this elephant Kuvalayāpīḍa? This elephant in the previous birth was a very powerful son of Bali Maharaj. His name was Mandagati. And this Mandagati had the strength of 100,000 elephants. And he was always carrying weapons on him. So he was a very powerful warrior, very well-known warrior. And once he desired to go to Rangashetra. And Rangashetra, he wanted to, visit the temple. And while going to see the deities, there was a lot of crowd. And he had a huge body. Sometimes it's very interesting. Once we went to a temple and we were trying to go through the crowd, and all of a sudden, there was a small boy. He says, what do you want? I said, we just want to have some prasadam, some maha. He said, don't worry, I'll get it. I was so surprised. And being a small child, he quickly went through the crowd so easily. While we, big people, were having difficulty, we were just staying back, not wanting to offend anyone. We were staying back. In 2 minutes, he returned with Mahaprasad. It was so wonderful for us to, and then we kind of took him along with us for the rest of the day. So it was a very nice journey seeing that. And he was a very intelligent boy. So young kids can be sometimes a great boon like that. And they can be, very good associates, especially when they are devotees of Lord Krishna. But this Mandagati, he was feeling a lot of difficulty and there was no one coming for his help. Actually, everyone wanted to see the deities. So what he decided, he started pushing people around. Because of his big body and so much power, he was pushing people around. He was pushing left and right so that he has a clean path. Sometimes we also see this is not a very, nice scenario, but sometimes, when a sannyasi is visiting and their disciples are pushing the crowd, that my Guru Maharaj is here, my Guru Maharaj is here, and they're pushing without realizing that they are causing so much offenses and so much turmoil in the crowd with this attitude. We have to be very careful that when we are serving a Vaishnava, we are not offending another Vaishnava in return. We have to be very, very careful because Jana Prad is also very bad. Again, we give the example of Dhruv Maharaj. He had not yet manifested the symptoms of a pure devotee when he wanted to climb on his father's lap. But Suruchi, she pushed him down. So that was an aprad, a Jana Prad. That he will have to take birth from her womb to be able to sit on his father's lap. And Dhruv Maharaj took it to his heart and he wanted a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, Lord Brahma. And afterwards, he was known as a great devotee of the Lord. By the mercy of Devashi Narad and by the mercy of Lord himself. So, Brahma Bhamite Kauna Bhagavana Jiva Kuru Krishna Prasad Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. So, we are constantly wandering in this material world up and down. But by the mercy of the Lord who provides us, through his expansion as Guru Tattva, as Guru, spiritual master, who gives us the direction so that we can attain Lord himself. So here, we see sometimes that the devotees, are sometimes blinded because of pride or because of arrogance. And that is a very big offense. It's like a mad elephant disease. And this Kuvalayāpīḍa is a mad elephant, right? So we have to be very, very careful of the mad elephant disease, because our Bhakti Lata Bij is like a very delicate plant, the seed of our devotion. And we are constantly nourishing this by watering it. And what is the watering process? The chanting of the holy name. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So now, Mandagati, the son of Daitya Raj Bali Maharaj. So he is also Daitya. Daitya just means the descendant of Diti. And Aditya means the descendant of Aditi. So, Daitya, Mandagati is pushing people left and right without discrimination. And as he is pushing them, it just happens that there is a great sage. Trita Muni, he is in that crowd. And he is pushed aside and he falls. Now, a Muni who's being pushed, he sees that this elephant, like this man is going like a mad elephant. So he gets up and he curses that you are going like a mad elephant, so you immediately, die and you get the body of a mad elephant. When Mandagati hears this curse, what happens? First, his body immediately falls off. So he is in his ghostly form. And at that time, realizing the big mistake he has made, he immediately pays obeisances to the sage. He says, "Oh, my dear sage, you are a great personality and I am so sorry for having offended you." So he's asking for forgiveness. He's apologizing for his misbehavior. And he says that you are a great powerful sage who can bless as well as who can curse. So please be merciful to me. So when he says that, the sage, his heart melts. He realizes that this is, a genuine person. He just wanted to see the deities so much so and couldn't see. So he pushed everyone around. So taking mercy on him, Tritiya Muni, he is saying that I will give you a boon that even demigods don't get. And what's that boon? He says that I cursed you that you will become an elephant. So that cannot be false. But you will be a very powerful elephant. And you will be killed by the hands of Lord Kṛṣṇa himself. So by that process, you will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. So again, when somebody dies while fighting with Lord, and Lord kills him, Lord Kṛṣṇa kills him. Again, Krishna never kills, it is Vishnu and Krishna kills. So this is Vasudev, Sarvamiti. So Lord Vasudev is going to kill. And so he is going to have the four-arm form and go back to Vaikuntha planets. So he appears in the form of an elephant, as was the curse. And he takes birth as an elephant in Vindhya Hills. So he's wandering in Vindhya Hills. And Jarasandha, he comes to know. Jarasandha has this great mission that he wants to conquer as much land as possible and then imprison all the kings and then finally give them in a sacrifice, perform a great sacrifice. So Jarasandha is on this campaign and he comes to know that in Vindhya Hills there is one elephant who has the power of 10,000 elephants. Jarasandha thinks that will be so wonderful. If I could have this elephant on my side, then all I have to do is unleash this elephant. And the other army will immediately be destroyed. And so with the help of 100,000 elephants, he is finally able to capture Kuvalayāpīḍa. So this elephant is so powerful. And so Jarasandha, what he would do is now he is going to fight with different, he was going to different kingdoms, neighboring kingdoms, and when he is fighting with the other kings and their armies, he would just unleash this elephant and the elephant would win the whole battle. So on his rampage of victory and imprisoning so many kings, Jarasandha happened to be very close to Mathura. So he decides to set up his camp, close to Mathura, about at some distance, at great distance. Yet at the same time, he had this Kuvalayāpīḍa elephant chained in the center of his camp. And somehow Kuvalayāpīḍa elephant is able to escape. And where is he heading? He is heading towards Mathura. So the elephant is heading towards Mathura, and at that time, the elephant just barges through the gates of Mathura, enters the city causing havoc. And as all this commotion is going on, at that time, Kamsa was wrestling in the wrestling arena. So this is the wrestling arena scene we'll be discussing soon. So in the same wrestling arena, Kans is, wrestling with Charun and Mushtika. And at the same time, he hears about this commotion, what is going on outside. So he comes out. And what does he see? What does Kamsa see? He sees a mad elephant coming towards him, running towards him, with the intent of harming him. As soon as the elephant comes towards Kams, he holds the elephant's trunk with one hand and gives it a whip, complete. And we call it, in India, we used to call it like a dobhi pachad, right? You can literally like you whip a cloth. So that way and the elephant is completely disturbed. Like he has the power of 10,000 elephants. Somebody just picked up, holding his trunk, gave it such a big whack. And then comes holding the trunk, whirls him around, and then throws him. So this elephant goes flying and lands in the center of the camp of Jarasandha. So Jarasandha is wondering, this elephant alone was enough to defeat a whole army. How come he was thrown at such a distance? How could this happen? So then he comes to know that it was Kans, the king of Mathura, who threw this elephant. So he is thinking, this was the strongest weapon I had. But in the hands of Kamsa, it's a toy. There is no way I can win over Kans. How can I make him my friend? So this is also demoniac thinking, right? If you cannot win over your enemy, you want that enemy to become your friend. Yet at the same time, you want the enemy to be your friend in such a way that he has a subordinate position. So how is he going to have this? So he thinks of a plan. He has 2 daughters, Asti and Prapti. So he sends the marriage proposal of his daughters to Kams. Kams knows that Jarasandha is a very powerful king. And this alliance would benefit him immensely. So now Kams is a demon with political mindset. He's politically driven. So he is trying to get strength of similar kings who are demons in their nature. So he agrees to this proposal. So he is married to Asti and Prapti. So the 2 daughters of Jarasandha are married to Kams. And in the marriage ceremony, Jarasandha gives him Kuvalayāpīḍa elephant as wedding gift. That's how Kuvalayāpīḍa entered Mathura. And now Lord Kṛṣṇa, is being threatened by Kuvalayāpīḍa. And Lord Kṛṣṇa, like a expert dancer, he is hiding behind he just, easily able to swiftly go behind his legs. And second time, the elephant could only see to the end of its trunk, but with the help of his smell, he was able to figure out that Lord Kṛṣṇa is hiding behind his, rear limbs. So he immediately tries to catch, and he is able to get hold of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Yet at the same time, Lord Kṛṣṇa is able to, escape his clutches. So as he is trying to put a trunk around Lord Kṛṣṇa is able to free himself. And then Lord Kṛṣṇa holds the tail of this elephant Kuvalayāpīḍa and drags him about the distance of 25 bows. And it is said that he drags it so easily, like a child normally drags like sugar canes and some other things. So that is very embarrassing. So now the elephant is mad with anger. That first he is not able to get. And then Lord Kṛṣṇa comes in front of Kuvalayāpīḍa, slaps him, and behaves as if he has fallen down on the ground. So Kuvalayāpīḍa, thinking that, Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is appearing just like a 9-year-old boy, he is on the ground, so I can use my tusks to pierce through his body. So he attacks with his tusks, the big tusks he has, onto the ground. And Lord Kṛṣṇa quickly gets up and runs forward. Now that is very painful when you're hitting the tusk onto the ground and it hits the hard ground. Yet at the same time, he is maddened more. And he's running after Lord Kṛṣṇa. And Lord Kṛṣṇa is again showing that as if he has slaved and he's going around. And whenever he gets a chance, he gives this elephant a slap or 2. So this elephant is getting more and more tormented. He's maddened more and more. And he's, going crazy. So much so, and it just so happens that Lord Krishna pulls him by his trunk, he falls onto the ground, and the caretaker, the master of the elephant, he also falls, and Lord Krishna kills that caretaker as well as rides on his back and kills the elephant. And at that time, Lord Krishna takes away one of the tusks, and Balaram comes. And he takes out the second tusk of this elephant. Now imagine Lord Krishna, after all this fighting with the elephant, he's entering the arena with the tusk resting on his one hand, Lord Balaram having the second tusk on his other hand resting on his shoulder, like that choice of weapons. They are entering in this manner. Lord Krishna has the blood of the elephant sprinkled over his body, and he has pearl-like sweat drops on his face and on his being. So he's looking magnanimous with all this, and they are dressed in the best of the garments, right? So they already had very nice garments the previous day. So they're wearing best of the garments, and like great dancers who are about to perform great, performance, a great, drama, they are entering this arena. Now when Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram were entering the wrestling arena, everybody saw them differently. Now how is that possible? Lord Krishna is appearing just like a 9-year-old boy. But when the wrestlers, Charun and Mushtika, they saw Krishna and Balaram, they felt that these are thunderbolts. These are great wrestlers who are entering, walking like, king of the elephants. They are walking, they have the gait of a, elephant walk. They're showing that. With very strong arms, very strong shoulders, in the prime of their youth. The residents of Mathura, they looked at Lord Krishna as the savior. The ladies of Mathura, women of Mathura, they saw Lord Krishna as Cupid personified. Nand Maharaj and other cowherd, Nand Maharaj and Vasudev and Devaki, they are thinking Lord Krishna as their child. The cowherd men looked at Lord Krishna as one of their, well-wishers. They were ignorant people in the crowd. They saw Lord Krishna as in the universal form. And there were yogis who saw Lord Krishna as the absolute truth. So everyone is seeing Lord Krishna differently. So beauty is in the eye of beholder. As one sees, one can see different things. So when we go to the temple, it's very interesting. In Bhagavad Gita it's given that the worship is also in 3 different modes. And then of course, when you're performing devotional service, without expecting any return, that is transcendental to the 3 modes of material nature. But when you go to the temple, there are some people who are thinking that these are idols, completely in ignorance. So Lord Krishna covers their vision with Maya. So they're deluded. When the deities are there smiling in a dancing pose, they're dancing constantly. Srila Prabhupada said, if Radha Krishna stops dancing, then everything is finished. So all the deities have dancing poses because they're constantly dancing. And they're merciful to us, the fallen beings, that they appear in the form of Archa Vigraha. So that we can see them, we can serve them, we can love them, yet at the same time when we worship them as Lakshmi Narayan. So, as one's vision is, one sees them differently. Some people who are somewhat elevated, they see that Lord is so all-powerful. So they look at deities and they say, oh, maybe he is a order supplier. And they make all kind of demands. Give me this, give me that. Then some people who are saying that, okay, maybe if I just ask, I may not get it. So let me do a trade, right? So they exchange and trade. You give me 1 crore, I'll give you 1 lakh. You give me 1 billion, I'll give you 1 million. Those kind of trades are going on in their mind. And devotees, what are they wishing? They're wishing, oh Lord, just give us your service so that we can serve you with love and devotion. It's a great privilege to be able to serve the Lordships. And this prayer comes in a very subtle form and a transcendental sound vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now Lord Krishna and Balaram, they are in the wrestling arena. And how does Kṛṣṇa see them? Kṛṣṇa is looking at Kṛṣṇa and he's saying death personified. That today I am going to die. And he's in great anxiety. His anxiety, so when somebody is anxious and even fearful, they're mainly arising because of two factors, lamentation and aspiration. That's why it is said the person who is situated in Brahman stage is prasannatma. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Kṛṣṇa says that one who is situated at the Brahman stage, it does not lament. So lament is something that you expected differently in your past. Or one who does not expire. As well as one who does not expire means does not expire something for the future. So one who does not live in the past or as well as does not live in the future. One who is living in the present moment. Na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu. So he looks at all the living entities, with equal vision. And equal vision is that every living entity is an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord and they are very dear to Lord Kṛṣṇa, so we should treat them accordingly without offending them, giving all respects and treating them based on their current positions. That doesn't mean you go and embrace the lion in the zoo. You have to be careful and keep your distance accordingly. Yet at the same time understand that even that living entity is very dear to Lord Kṛṣṇa. So here, as Lord Kṛṣṇa is entering and everyone is looking, Charun and Mushtika, these are the wrestlers. So they had been already given the instructions by Kṛṣṇa that if they are able to kill Kuvalayāpīḍa elephant, then you two will wrestle with Kṛṣṇa and Balaram and kill them. So Charun approaches Lord Kṛṣṇa and says, "Oh Lord Kṛṣṇa, please come and fight with us." And then he is inciting that you are a general populace of the king. So the citizens who are under the shelter of the king should try to please the king. He is saying that Kṛṣṇa, you and your brother Balaram should fight with us. That will please Kṛṣṇa. And if you don't do so, then the king will become angry and he will punish you. But if you fight with us, you will be very fortunate and you will be awarded accordingly. So he's inciting them to come and fight with them. Lord Kṛṣṇa was ready to fight. Just like as soon as he saw Kuvalayāpīḍa, the first thing he did was he, tied up his hair, all his, the curly locks of hair that was on his face. He pulled it back, he tightened his clothes, and he decided to fight with Kuvalayāpīḍa elephant. So here also Lord Kṛṣṇa is ready to fight. Yet at the same time, looking at the time, place, and circumstances, he is saying that we are just boys, right? We're just cowherd boys. While you are wrestlers, that's your profession. So it is not correct combination. So this is not a proper match. And we don't want to taint the audience with a religion, because when there are two parties engaged in an activity, the audience who is encouraging them, if they are encouraging an improper, an injustice basically, combination, because these are young boys, just 9-year-old boys who are going to fight with these grown-up, powerful wrestlers who are like thunderbolts themselves, then it's definitely an injustice. So Lord Kṛṣṇa is revealing to them that this is not right. And then he's saying, we are just cowherd boys, we are just young boys. Then Charun says that you are neither boy nor a grown-up man. You are the prime of your youth, and we can see that you just killed Kuvalayāpīḍa elephant, just like as if it was a, game for you. And we know that you cowherd boys, when you go to herd the cows during the day, you wrestle with each other. And you enjoy this. So that's why we are calling you, because you have been wrestling when you are taking the cows to cowherd, for herding, and you boys, all the cowherd boys, and you like to wrestle as your play time. So Lord Kṛṣṇa, again is ready at this particular point. And this is where this chapter ends. And then the next chapter will start. Now there are some very interesting aspects. We see the devotees of the Lord as how they are having this loving exchange, and the demons are having the exchange which is causing them to get annihilated by the hands of Vasudeva, and they are going back home, yet at the same time, because why are they going back home? Sometimes people ask that how come Lord Kṛṣṇa, when he blesses someone, they go back home? When he kills someone, they go back home? Why is it so? This is to our relative eyes. We see in relative terms happiness and distress, hot and cold, warm and freezing. So again, this is our vision. While Lord Kṛṣṇa is absolute, he is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. And this duality is because of the impact of the modes of material nature. And Lord Kṛṣṇa says, Devi he esha guramayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. This material energy of mine. So he is saying that he is the master of the material energy. He is the master of the three modes of material nature. It's very difficult to overcome. Yet those who surrender unto me can easily cross over it. So it's apparent that the devotees will be able to go back home. How come the demons are able to go back home? So these demons were actually devotees in their previous lives. Because of some offense, they got cursed. And Lord, when he wants to fight, he just doesn't fight with any demonic person just like that. He especially has an arrangement through Yog Maya that he gets some really good devotees, great devotees who had committed some offense, so that in his pastime they appear as demons. And when they are annihilated, all their sins are passed through, because Lord is absolute. He touches with his pure hand anything, it gets purified. Just like sun, when the sun rays are falling, it doesn't matter if it's falling on normal stone or if it's falling on urine or stool, it disinfects the area, so it purifies. Similarly, Lord Kṛṣṇa is like that. He is transcendental, he is absolute, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so whatever he touches becomes pure just like him. So that's why when he kills even the washerman, his soul came out like a glowing spark and enters Lord Kṛṣṇa's being himself. So here, same thing happened with Kuvalayāpīḍa. He is able to go back home. And now Charun and Mushtika are challenging Lord Kṛṣṇa. So in the next class, we'll cover who were these Charun and Mushtika, and how come they are in this position of wrestlers that they are going to fight with Lord Kṛṣṇa. Yet it is very interesting that here, as we understand that even the demons who are appearing in the various pastimes, in Vrindavan Leela, in Mathura Leela, in Dwarka Leela, as Lord Kṛṣṇa is facing all these demons and he's killing them one after another, how come they are able to go back home? So again, there is a verse in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it's very nice, 22nd verse, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So anya is any other, but there is no other. So not any other, but just serving Lord Kṛṣṇa. Those who worship Lord Kṛṣṇa, no other object, but he is their supreme object of worship. He is the only object of worship. Ye jana paryupasate. So those people or those devotees who worship paryupasate Lord Kṛṣṇa, Lord, he carries what they lack and preserve what they have. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Tesham, so again, Tesham Ananyas chintayanto mam yogakshemam vahamyaham tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So Lord preserves what they have and carries what they lack. So these devotees who had committed some offenses, so Lord is carrying what they lack, the devotion. So when Lord touches them and kills them, he is destroying all their demonic qualities and he is purifying them. So that is the thing that they are lacking, devotion. Yet at the same time, when Lord is, even giving such a wonderful shelter to the demons, what to talk about devotees who are constantly serving him with love and devotion and gratitude and humility. So that's how we should be, looking forward, that Lord Kṛṣṇa is so merciful. He is so easily pleased. He's saying, Patam pushpam phalam toyam yoma bhakta prayachati tadham bhaktyo pritam ashnami prayatatmana. So he's saying that one can simply offer me patra, which is leaf, pushpa, flower, phal, fruit, toyam, little water. With love, when one offers to such a devotee, from such a devotee, I accept it. So he's so easily pleased. We just offer him with love. So talk about when we chant with love, when we serve with love, how happy he would become. And the best thing is, when we serve in the association of devotees, how pleasing it is for the Lordship. So, we should continue to engage in Sankirtan Yajna, chanting and hearing about the glories of Lord Shri Krishna. So this chapter ends where Charun and Mushtika, they are waiting to wrestle with Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. And in the next chapter, we will hear who these personalities were and how come they happened to become wrestlers and are, at this particular moment, challenging Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram for a wrestling match. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गो प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौ प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा।